What if managing your Airbnb could take half the effort but make double the impact? These 7 tools changed how I run my properties, and they'll do the same for you. Whether it's constant guest communication, last-minute repairs, or pricing your listing just right, hosting can feel quite overwhelming sometimes. But the right tools can take the stress out of the equation and make running your Airbnb smoother than ever. Let's dive into 7 essential tools that will transform how you manage your Airbnb in 2025. Now, if there's one thing every Airbnb host dreads, it's dealing with unexpected problems when you're not there. And nothing causes more stress than guests who don't follow the rules. That's where the first tool comes in on this list. Minut. Minut is a smart home monitoring device that tracks noise levels, cigarette smoke detection, and even temperature in your Airbnb. If things get too loud or unusual activity happens, Minut sends you and your guests an automatic alert, stepping in before problems escalate. It's a simple, discreet way to make sure your property stays protected without invading guest privacy. I personally love it when it automatically notifies guests when noise exceeds a set level, so most issues get resolved without me even lifting a finger. Minut keeps things under control even when you're not around, and trust me, that peace of mind is worth every penny. Now, while Minut protects your property, let's talk about something just as important: connecting with your guests long after they leave. Most of us rely on Airbnb's platform to handle communication, but what if you could build your own guest list and drive direct bookings? That's exactly what StayFi does. StayFi is a Wi-Fi access point that replaces your standard Wi-Fi login screen with a branded splash page, collecting guest emails every time someone connects. So instead of relying on Airbnb or Vrbo, you can email market to them directly, promote special offers, and keep guests coming back to you. It's one of those tools that works quietly in the background but makes a huge impact on your long-term bookings. So we've talked about the tools to prevent guest issues and capture their information, but now let's cover something even more important: their safety. Most Airbnb hosts don't realize this, but in many counties across the US, having a landline for emergencies isn't just recommended, it's required by law. Now, I know what you're thinking. A landline in 2025? It feels a bit outdated, right? Well, that's exactly what I thought until I looked into it. Here's the reality. When someone calls 911 from a cell phone, their location isn't always precise. In an emergency, every second counts, and delays in response times can make a huge difference. That's where Ooma, today's sponsor, comes in. With Ooma's modern internet-based landline, you can set it up to ensure emergency services receive the exact address of your property. No guesswork or delays in critical situations. The setup is super simple. It takes about 15 minutes. Just plug it into your router and connect a phone. And the best part, the phone service is free. You only pay for local taxes and fees. But here's what really makes Ooma stand out for us Airbnb hosts. It's their 911 alerts feature. If a guest dials 911 from your property, you can get an instant notification by text or email. So even if you're hundreds of miles away, you'll know immediately if there's something wrong. This is huge. Whether it's a fire, medical emergency, or break-in, you won't be left in the dark, and you can coordinate with emergency services in real time. Honestly, after managing multiple Airbnbs, I can't recommend this enough. The peace of mind alone is worth it. And thanks to Ooma for sponsoring this video. They're offering $30 off right now on their most popular phones if you use the link below. If you're serious about protecting your guests and your property, this is one tool you don't want to skip. Now that we've covered guest safety and property protection, let's talk about something just as important: protecting your business. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day hosting tasks, but if you're not thinking about how your Airbnb business is structured, you could be leaving yourself open to unnecessary risks and paying more taxes than you need to. That's where Prime Corporate Services comes in. Prime helps Airbnb hosts with LLC formation, real estate-focused tax strategies, and asset protection. They can enroll your LLC in minutes, handle all of the paperwork, and make sure you're legally covered. But it doesn't stop there. They also help with business credit, funding, and advanced real estate tax strategies to maximize deductions and keep more money in your pocket. I actually sat down with Tommy Thornburg, the president of Prime Corporate Services, and he broke down how structuring your Airbnb as an LLC or S Corp can save you thousands in taxes and protect your assets if something was to ever go wrong. For hosts managing multiple properties or even just starting out, having that kind of protection is a no-brainer. Once your business is properly set up and protected, the next challenge is managing everything efficiently, especially as you scale. Juggling multiple properties, guest communication, and bookings across different platforms can get quite overwhelming. That's where Guesty comes in. Guesty is an all-in-one property management platform designed specifically for short-term rental hosts. It automates guest messages, syncs calendars across Airbnb, Vrbo, and other platforms, and even handles payment processing. For example, if someone books on Airbnb, Guesty automatically blocks those dates on your Vrbo calendar, so you never have to worry about double bookings. It's like having a virtual assistant that works 24/7, managing everything behind the scenes while you focus on growing your business. Plus, it scales with you. Whether you have one property or 20, Guesty keeps everything organized and running smoothly. So now that you've got your bookings and guest communication under control with Guesty, what about pricing? Setting the right price can feel like a guessing game. Charge too much and your place will sit empty. Too little and you're leaving money on the table. That's why the next tool on this list is Pricelabs. Pricelabs uses dynamic pricing to automatically adjust your rates based on demand, local events, seasonality, and competitor pricing. For example, if there's a festival or big event happening nearby, Pricelabs will automatically raise rates to match the increased demand. During slower season, it lowers prices just enough to keep your calendar full. I've seen a 20% increase in revenue just by letting Pricelabs optimize my listings. And the best part is, it's completely automated. Once it's set up, it works in the background constantly, fine-tuning your prices for maximum profit. Now that your pricing is optimized and your bookings are rolling in, there's one more piece to keeping your Airbnb running smoothly: cleaning and turnovers. Managing cleaners and making sure your property is ready for the next guest can be one of the biggest logistical headaches for hosts. That's where Turno comes in. Turno automates cleaning schedules by syncing with your bookings. When a guest checks out, Turno instantly notifies your cleaning team and adds the job to their calendar. You can even manage multiple properties and connect with local cleaners directly through the platform. No more last-minute scrambling to find someone available. What I love most is that Turno handles automatic payments to cleaners upon completion, so I don't have to manually send payments through other platforms anymore. And to make tax season easier, Turno even files a 1099 for your cleaners at the end of the year. One less thing for me to have to worry about. I also use custom checklists for each property so I know that every cleaning is done to my exact standards, leaving every property spotless and ready for the next guest. Turno has made turnovers practically effortless, and that's crucial for keeping operations smooth, especially during back-to-back bookings. And just like that, with the right tools in place, running an Airbnb can actually feel manageable, even as you scale. These 7 tools, from monitoring and guest communication to pricing and turnovers, have completely transformed how I personally manage my properties. A big shout out to Ooma for sponsoring today's video. If you're serious about protecting your guests and staying compliant, make sure to check out their offer for $30 off using the link below. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more Airbnb hosting tips. Let me know in the comments, what's one tool you can't live without as an Airbnb host? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.